Welcome back to the weekly Brooklyn Market Update, brought to you by Engel & Volker's Brownstone, Brooklyn. My name is Katriona, and of course I'm joined today by Donald Brennan. Hello, Donald.
Good afternoon, Katriona. How are you?
I'm not too bad, a little chilly, but I'm not going to complain. So let's get straight to the market data for new to market and in contract listings for properties priced below $2.25 million and those luxury properties priced above $2.25 million across the 16 key Brooklyn neighborhoods that we currently track. So obviously the last time we spoke was Thanksgiving week, which was a little slow as we thought it would be. And so did this past week pick up significantly, Donald?
Yeah, no, it did. It really popped. Looking at the luxury sector for new to market, we went from 4 listings coming on to 15, which were mostly new development condominiums last week. In contract activity went from 11 to 20 deals, which were mostly townhouses. Below the 2.25 number, new to market, we went from 28 to 50 new listings, were mostly condominiums, both resales and new development. And then in contract activity, 39 up to 72 last week, 50% of those being condo resales.
Oh, that's quite the uptick. So was there any change in the average list price for either the new to market or the in contract properties as a result of all that activity?
Not a lot. The only real difference of significance here was in the luxury sector, new to market, where on average, week of Thanksgiving, it was about $3.5 million per asset introduced to the market. Last week, that number went down to 3.1. Week to week, it's these numbers do move quite a bit sometimes. So we'll keep an eye on that and report back on that in the coming weeks. Everything else pretty much stable week to week.
And so what did the data tell us about where most people are actually looking in terms of neighborhoods?
Sure. Looking at the in contract deals that we track, Park Slope, Brooklyn Heights, and Fort Greene had the most activity last week.
Interesting. And so remind us, which of the markets was most active, the below $2.25 million or the luxury above $2.25 million?
So the 2.25 and below part of the market is obviously the most greatest number of assets in there. So it is overall a lot more going on than the luxury sector, which is 10 to 15% of the market. But that said, in November, the luxury sector is more active on a relative deal basis, with 14 deals going into contract on average in November versus 11 and a half deals going into contract in October.
So everyone wants to know how negotiable the market is right now. We get asked that a lot, as you know, Donald. And obviously we look at what closes from week to week, day to day, month to month. But do we get any insights from this new to market and in contract data that might help us perhaps give some thoughts on that question?
Sure, negotiability to me is a link to the supply demand dynamic, and so anyway, since we were allowed to get back to business here after we came into phase 2 back in June, market wide, a lot of new listings coming to market. I think in the luxury sector anyway, 25% of the new inventory since then occurred in late June to early July. So under the 2.25 mark, it's been doing well. Actually, deals been going into contract at a greater clip than listings coming onto the market more recently. In the luxury sector, it's a little bit different. While we are trending up in things going into contract more recently, we had $1.8 billion of product introduced to the marketplace. That product is townhouses, condos, both resales, new development, and co-ops since mid-June. And only $800 million actually finding buyers by going into contract over that same time frame. In there, the kind of, I guess, weakest or the least demand is condos, both again in resales and new development, versus townhouses, which was much stronger. The demand there is much stronger, and co-ops are actually doing pretty well themselves. So it's in those condo products, again, the resales, new development, where I see potential for negotiability, and not so much on the price for new development. As we know, developers like to stick to their pricing and kind of make concessions around there to make the deals more attractive. So, you know, it's for me, it's in the resales of condominiums where they're, you know, being put out there by the end users who had been living there. And you may find more negotiability there than you may for new development on price.
So that's it from us this week. We obviously only have a few more weeks before we get to the end of the year. And next week, we're going to do a special edition focusing on townhouses. Do you want to talk about that a little, Donald?
Yeah, so we're going to take a little bit deeper dive on the townhouse market as it's kind of evolved again over the last 6 months, and we'll share some of that data with you in a little bit deeper kind of view than we typically take. And just wanted to remind the viewers again, you know, we talk about these things because, you know, we think they're important, and they're also part of the vernacular of the communities that we operate in here, with people wanting to know about gross pricing, dollar per square foot, trends, and so forth, days on market. And, you know, that's part of what we're doing here. But, you know, clearly there's another aspect to our marketing efforts, you know, on the sell side, basically. And it has to do with how we can get things out there in a very fabulous kind of format through, among other things, the GG magazine that we get to work with here at Engel & Volkers, and getting our properties out there worldwide. That magazine itself gets a 300,000 circulation, and it's just amazing the inbound we get from there, people inquiring from all places around the world. So, you know, data on one hand, and then its ability to put product out there in a way that is head and shoulders above our competitors. So always keep that in mind. Happy to get into how that may work for you as a seller. And also the GG magazine is available at our shops for free. Stop in anytime, grab one. They're complimentary.
Great. That's it from us. Bye for now.